Hello and welcome. This is the part that I usually say, Chris from Missouri here, bringing you another video about vintage baseball cards. But that's not what I'm going to do on this video. What I'm going to do is I am going to show you some cards, but they're not going to be baseball cards. But I'm going to tell you a story that's near and dear to my heart. And towards the end of this video, I'm going to tell you of an upcoming event that I have going that I want to see if there's anybody that can meet me there. So, as you guys know, this is, as most of you know, this is the Masters Golf Tournament weekend going on, and we're getting ready to go into Sunday. Uh, Koepka, Bruce Koepka, I believe, has a three-stroke lead, and he's playing very well. But I'm going to tell you a story about the Masters back in 1998, and it's near and dear to my heart. And there's only one or two reasons why. But my wife and I had recently adopted a son from Russia. Now our son is healthy now, but when we got him to the United States after staying over there in Russia for almost 2 weeks, um, he wasn't healthy. He was a little malnourished and stuff, and when we decided he was healthy enough to take a vacation with us, and my wife and I, with my mother and father-in-law, took a trip to visit my brother-in-law in South Carolina. Well, to an island, I think it's part of South Carolina, called Kiowa. Now, Kiowa is famous for their golf courses. And we thought, what a great time to be at Kiowa during the Masters. So we got to play a couple golf courses. Now, if you don't know where Kiowa is, if you ever seen the movie Bagger Vance, a lot of their golf scenes was played on the course in Kiowa, and it was a tough course. My wife's a really good player, and at the time, I thought I was a pretty good player, but that's not really what I'm talking to you about. Um, my son, we were supposed to go do some stuff together on a Sunday, and then maybe come back and watch the end of the Masters, or even maybe pick up the Masters at the sports bar. But my son was sick the night before, and he was sick that morning. So I decided I was going to stay home with him and watch the Masters from early on until the end. And at the time in 1998, there was this young golfer, not up and coming. Everybody knew who he was. He'd already been around a year or so, and just came on the scene, just incredible. And of course, his name is Tiger Woods. And I think at the time he was 24 years old. Now, pardon the camera. I know the card's turned around, but this is just a quick video. But Tiger Woods was playing well during one of his early Masters. And he was on the leaderboard almost the whole time. But have you ever had one of those moments where you hear an announcer, and a tingle comes on down your body, whether it's baseball, now coming to the plate, Derek Jeter, or something like that, that just brings some kind of emotion to you. And my wife and mother and father-in-law left. I turned the TV on, and I sat my not quite 2-year-old son on my lap, and I started to turn up the volume and listen. And that one wonderful voice of Jim Nance came on, and it went something like this. Now I could be off, so please don't. You can look it up if you want to, but this is how I remember it. And but he comes on with that just beautiful voice, and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Nicklaus has birdied 3. He's birdied 4. He's birdied 6, and he's now put himself into 4th place." And I was a big Jack Nicklaus fan. And not that I wasn't a Tiger Woods fan, but I was a Jack Nicklaus fan. And here's his rookie card. And as I'm sitting there watching him play the next hole, and now the camera's on him, because this is going to be his, not his last hurrah, but one of them. Tiger Woods was 24, and Jack Nicklaus was 34 years older than him at the time, at 58. And he birdied the next hole, and he put himself way up on the leaderboard. Now, he didn't win the tournament. He played well, and he finished tied for sixth. And matter of fact, Tiger Woods, I think, finished tied for eighth. But it was like Jack Nicklaus's hurrah. But the way I felt when I had my son sitting on my lap, I knew he was never going to remember it. But that moment, I knew I was going to remember it from for the rest of my life. I remember, he not knowing what I'm saying, but I told him, I said, man, I'm going to be able to tell you someday about Jack Nicklaus in this golf tournament. And it was one of my favorite moments of watching a sport. Now I've had a lot of them, and it's hard to put which one's my favorite, but I'll always remember that moment and how I felt when listening to Nance's voice describe what was going on in that golf tournament. So, if you guys had some kind of moment like that, just leave me a little message below, and a little quick message, or even if you want to, reach out and message me. But I want to tell you what I'm going to be doing here this following week. And this is not my original idea, and I know it's some other guys' idea, but I've been talking to a few guys in the hobby that do YouTube videos, and I want to do I'd like to see us do regional gatherings of YouTubers. And, the best opportunity probably is usually at card shows, and when I say regional gatherings, we have a strong section in every portion of the United States. And when we go to the Nationals, there's some people that get left behind. I mean, the Nationals in Chicago, so it's a little easier for the guys in the Midwest to go to the National. It's tougher for the guys in California and Arizona and Washington and New York and even Florida and South Carolina and Georgia. And I have YouTubers everywhere. But this week they have what is the Strongville, Ohio, which is close to Cleveland. Now that's not regional for me, but there's some guys up there that we're going to get together. Matter of fact, Mike from Canada, who has he's a great storyteller. He's going to be down there at the show, and I know Don's Field of Dreams Cards is going to be there, and Scott Reindeer Studios is going to be there. Well, I'm going to be there, and even though it's not regional, I'm gonna go up there. I'm going to meet the guys, and I'm going to take a picture with the guys, and I hope that I can talk one of them into doing a video, maybe a recap of it. But that could be our first little regional get together, a regional gathering at a show, and it's going to be great. Not at the National, it's going to be great, and we're going to have a big gathering there. But there's some people that are not going to be able to make it there this year for different reasons, what have you. But maybe the remainder of this year and maybe next year, we could have regional gatherings. And if you think that's a good idea, let me know. If you decide you want to do it in your area, do a YouTube video beforehand. So some people, if they're freed up, maybe could make the little longer trek, even though it might not be in their area or their region, to come out and see you. So we're going to be in Strongville. If you're going to be able to go there, please message me and let me know. And if you're there, look me up, and maybe we can get together for a conversation, a drink, or a laugh. But anyway, again, I'm getting close to 6 months doing videos, and I'm getting ready to do a VR. I just don't know when or where it's going to be yet, but I do know that on Friday and Saturday, I'm going to be in Strongville, Ohio, with a group of friends. Now remember, this is only a hobby. Collect what you like.